So to start off this closed chain shoulder mobility sequence, we are going to start in a Sphinx position, which is laying on your belly, propped up on your elbows. In this position, we are going to start off with alternating reaches. The idea here is to basically reciprocally kind of ping back and forth between your right and left side, supporting you while the other side is reaching. The idea here is to not let yourself drop or collapse into your shoulders, and you should feel a nice alternating flickering of your glutes and your abs working to support you as you're reaching back and forth. From there, we are going to do some elevation and depression, so shrugging up into our shoulders and then pulling the shoulder blades down into our back pockets. We want to maintain some level of pressure pushing into the floor so that we're not completely lax, but the idea here is up and down movement of the shoulder blades on a nice stable rib cage, no accessory neck movement. Just like the open chain sequence, we're going to move into protraction and retraction, so forward and backward movement. So we're letting ourselves sink into the shoulders and the scapula come together, and then we are pushing the floor away and pressing the scapula apart and using our serratus to create separation between our torso and the ground and getting the space between our shoulder blades to open up and expand. Again, similar to the open chain sequence we did, we are going to put those two together and do circles with our scapula. So first we're going to do forward circles, which you see me doing here. It's going to be elevation, protraction, depression, retraction, and sequencing those over and over again to create forward circles. And then we're going to do the same thing but in reverse. And again, you want to make sure that you're not getting too much movement through the spine itself in the mid-back, that you're relatively fixed in the spine and that you're getting a lot of the motion from the scapula on the ribs. We're then going to progress and include the elbow and wrist joints into the equation now a bit more by going into full quadruped and then doing the same motions of the scapula. So here we're doing protraction and retraction, sinking into the shoulders and letting the shoulder blades come together, and then pressing the floor away and feeling the space between the shoulders expand and the muscles on our armpits engaging. For scapular elevation and depression, again, it's a shrug into our ears and then a pulling down of the shoulders into our pockets, feeling our obliques and our lats tighten. We should be pushing the floor away with a decent effort as we maintain this. We don't want to be completely lax in the shoulders as we're managing gravity in this position. Alright, quadruped position scapular circles. These are a little tricky, just like they were previously in the open chain and when we were doing these in the Sphinx position. We're going to do backward circles first because I think they're a little bit easier. Shrug the shoulders, collapse into the shoulders, pull the shoulders down into your back pockets, and then push the floor away, and do that repeatedly over and over again to get those backward circles going. And then from there, going forwards, we are going to shrug, push the floor away, pull the shoulders into the back pockets, and then sink into the shoulders, shrug, repeat that cycle. That's going to give you your nice forward circles. Try to manage a nice stable rib cage so that those shoulder blades have a good stable platform to move on, and allow your breath to just naturally flow as you're doing this, keeping your head stable. Now moving into the next joint, the elbow, we are going to start with flexion extension at the elbow. We are focusing on trying to get as much range of motion as we can, maintaining a flat palm, pronated wrist position. This is going to be challenging for a lot of you and potentially pretty uncomfortable at first in your elbow joints if you go too far or if you do too much too soon. So be mindful of how much you push into it. Stop just shy of pain. There might be a little discomfort. Slowly build on this over time. We're really working the connective tissues of the elbows. As you see me diving forward here, this makes it harder on the elbow joint. From the elbow joint, we go into the wrist, and we are going to do what I call wrist flexor push-ups. The idea here is to find the amount of pressure putting on the wrist that's appropriate for you, that you can manage pressing from the full palm into just the knuckles being on the ground and the fingers are still on the ground. You should feel a lot of, not strain, but a lot of effort from your forearm muscles, from your wrist flexors. And if you're too far forward and you got too much load, you're going to feel like these are almost not possible. So find that right position and then just work through your wrist. Then to finish off the wrist here, you want to go really gently with these, but you're going to make a fist and you are going to slowly and gently, not with a lot of pressure, roll the wrist through a full circle while engaging the ground with a very slight, again, amount of pressure. Over time, and again slowly, because connective tissues tend to adapt slowly over time to stimulus the way we're doing here. We want to really tread carefully here and not go too quickly too soon. So avoid too much clicking or popping, avoid any pain. Just slowly work on improving the amount of capacity that your wrist has doing this and feeling okay and comfortable, and maybe the next few days feeling like it's responding okay or not getting too stressed out. If you adhere to that, this is a great exercise to build up the strength in your wrists and really allow you to do more things like crawling and push-ups and a lot more calisthenics type of stuff that's really common in like animal flow and body weight training programs.